Well, hello, friends. Welcome to the
Trisbrina Show.
All right. Well, today we've got an exciting, juicy topic. We're diving into Forever Fit, 3 secrets to staying fit after 50.
And each of those 3 secrets is going to have a handful of elements that we'll dive into.
We're talking about getting into and staying in the best shape of your life, especially after the big 5-0 milestone.
And the 6-0 milestone, and the
7-0
7-0 milestone, and the 8-0 milestone.
We're going to be unpacking key elements to having a healthier, fitter, more vibrant you. And we've got the perfect formula. Are we allowed to reveal the formula?
I don't think
No,
so.
we're going to keep it to ourselves. Okay. Well, we are going to unpack it on the show tonight, and we're going to dive in, and we're not going to wait. We're going to go right now, right here, right now. Hello, Joe, Deborah, Elise. I see you, Mary, Lee, Barbara. We got a full house here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we dive right in?
We shall. So these are the 3 secrets to getting fit and healthy and staying fit and you're healthy in your 50s and beyond. But the truth is, these will work even if you're younger than 50. Trust me, these 3, what would you call them? Components?
Elements?
Secrets have been the core of everything that we both do in different ways. So as we go through it, we'll tell you what we mean. Yes. And I think number 1, everyone could probably guess. So you can guess if you're here in the chat. What would be number 1?
Okay. I know.
Okay, what? That's right.
Strength training.
Strength training. Now, what does that mean? Well, it usually means lifting something heavy, like a dumbbell. Heavy could be 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds. You can lift light weights for longer periods of time or heavier weights for shorter period of time. But your muscle mass maintenance after 50, muscle mass naturally decreases and strength training helps maintain that. You've probably heard of the condition called sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle loss. So you need to do some muscle mass maintenance just to stay as strong as you are. And then a little bit more to get even stronger.
Well, every decade you're losing up to 3 to 5% of your muscle mass. So that starts as early as your 30s.
I'm not.
Typically kicks in at your 50s. Yeah, like this doesn't have to be the story.
Nope.
So we in our classes, specifically in our Life Force dojo. Oh, can I mention that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so the doors to our dojo just opened up, which
is a virtual dojo where
you
tune in from home, 4 live classes each week.
You take it from here. No, I'm going to jump in. So I'm going to give you guys a link in case you're new to our work or you've been part of our Energy Detox and Reboot event. And you just found out about the Trisbrina Show. That link right there is super important because we're starting our next season and it's starting like next week. So if you go to that page after today's show and you see all the goodies that we have for you, this is bar none. And I will say this hands down, the best online health, wellness, and fitness program with so much value packed from Qigong to meditation to what we're talking about right now, having strong muscles, bones, tendons. It's all packed in there. Live classes 4 times a week, replays for up to 3 months. You don't get replays at a gym or yoga studio, but you do with us. So
that's right.
Save that link. Okay,
so we were on the number 1 secret, strength training, and the first element was muscle mass maintenance. Now the second one is bone density. It's vital for bone health, is increasing the bone density or keeping the bone density the same. How do you do that? By tugging on the body. We do that through a lot of our fascia movements. We do that through resistance bands. We do that through dumbbells. He just mentioned our Life Force Mastery Dojo. We have 2 classes each week where we incorporate light weights and resistance bands.
You know, there's something really important, I think, about tugging on those bones because the tendons attach the muscles to the bones. And when you're contracting the muscles on a regular basis, you're tugging on the tendon, aka bone. And that mechanical stress on your bones is stimulating an electrical charge in the bones, which helps the bones to be healthy. Plus the muscles are maintaining that muscle mass.
Yeah.
The tendons are staying strong. But you don't need heavy weight to maintain the muscles.
No.
But simultaneously, especially with the energy work that we do, your muscles do get very, very strong. I lift kind of crazy heavy weights around here and I'm in my mid 50s and sometimes I'm lifting half of my body weight, right? So I'm like 170-ish pounds. So like this is not uncomfortable for me. Not that I need to lift that much weight, but it gives you so much strength, which is so functional in life to be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, when you're like, oh, could you lift that for me? What if that wasn't the case? What if you could do it?
Yeah. In our Life Force Mastery Dojo classes, people use weights between 2 pounds and 6 pounds. Okay, so just one more thing. As far as this relationship between muscle mass and the bone density, have you ever been to a chiropractor and you had your bones put into place and then they slip back out? Well, that could be because there's issues with muscles and vice versa. So they really work together. Another thing under strength training is your metabolism.
This is
boost,
important.
right? Doesn't it kind of sucks? Our metabolism will start to slow down.
Yeah.
But here's the great news. A pound of muscle burns a lot more calories at rest, while you're sleeping, while you're watching TV, while you're eating, than a pound of fat. So if you are more muscle, your metabolism is going to be up. You're actually, I think that you usually feel warmer too because your circulation is better.
You have so much muscle. You're like a central heating station. I can barely, I love to hug Sabrina, but at night I can do it for 5 minutes and it's like I'm sweating because her metabolism is so good and she's, in her 50s.
All right. The fourth element is joint health. Improve your joint health and reduce the risk of arthritis. That's another thing that the strength training is helping you with. And then the fifth element is functional independence. And I just love that. Yeah, it's like I am able to stay independent by improving your strength and your balance and your risk of falling so that you can take care of yourself. And to take care of yourself, you have to stay strong.
So the first secret is strength training using a resistance band, using light dumbbell weights, using your own body weight for resistance. But it's so important. I meet people sometimes who say they don't do any strength training. And I'm like, what do you mean? How does your body stay, healthy and strong? And don't forget that when your muscles are toned, you've got human spandex. It pulls things into place. It helps your posture. Like you said, injury prevention, bone density, higher metabolism. You got to include some strength training. So we do that in the dojo for sure.
All right. Secret number 2, I think, is my favorite.
My favorite too.
Coordinated movements.
Underline the coordination.
Coordinated movement. So the first element that we're going to talk about is just fall prevention, right? When you're not used to moving right and left and forward and back in sequences and catching your weight with rhythm and timing, perhaps, like you do in Qigong and you do in dance and you do in martial arts, then when you trip, your brain's not going to know how to catch you. So having that spatial awareness that you get through coordinated movements is going to help prevent falls.
Well, that's spatial awareness, kinetic awareness. It has to do with the brain and the body being able to communicate with each other well. It's called proprioception, so that your brain knows where your limbs are in space and in time. And so when you're doing these coordinated movements, it's enhancing that proprioceptive awareness. So you have better balance. Well, are you probably going to get into all those things?
The number 2 element under coordinated movements is brain health. Coordination exercises improve neural connections, enhancing brain health. That's why we termed a little phrase in our fitness fusion class, dance away dementia, because we do these, depending on how coordinated you are, simple, choreographed, almost like line dances. And for some people, they're very challenging because they're still working on their coordination, because they said it's the number one way to prevent dementia. You're creating new neural networks. We love saying to our students, I hope that was really challenging. I hope you didn't get that. Because if you didn't get it, then you're going to have to learn and you're going to have to practice. And then when you do get it, you're going to be really happy and your brain is going to be stronger.
So good. It gives ambidexterity, having the ability to be coordinated on both sides of the body, because most likely in martial arts and dance and fitness, at least the way we teach, we're always going to challenge you to use both sides. So you don't be, well, that's my weak side. No. We don't have a weak side.
That's right.
We have balance. We have good coordinated left-right brain hemisphere. Joe, you got that right when you said movement. You knew we were going to talk about this.
I like what Debbie McMasters just wrote in the chat. The dancing in Fitness Fusion has helped me so much to come back from the chronic pain detour.
Detour, that's
those rotational movements. Okay, the third element of coordinated movements is just daily activities, and improves the ability to perform daily activities efficiently and safely. So if you just think about, let's say we're all in the kitchen and you're reaching for this and you're going down for that and you're doing the spoon and you're taking
You're
the
doing the
shoe,
spoon.
shoe out of the dog's mouth, and you're doing all these things that require this dexterity and coordination. It actually is going to make your daily tasks easier. And then the fourth one under coordinated is variety. It says activities like yoga, tai chi, qigong, dance are enjoyable ways to improve your coordination. And with that variety, it keeps your brain alert. So the coordinated movements are, if you think about it, a routine, a sequence. I'm going to do these 4 things right after each other. I'm going to mirror what that teacher is doing. Oh, get my elbow shoulder height. Okay. Close my fist. Tuck my chin. It's your brain telling your body what to do and your body responding to it. What the best ways are, of course, when it moves side to side, forward and back, up and down with a pattern and with a rhythm and learning some kind of routine. Absolutely. And then, which brings us to the fifth element, cognitive function. So coordination exercises help maintain cognitive function by challenging the brain. So that goes back to saying, I hope that wasn't easy for you.
Absolutely. And sometimes you can get a little bit frustrated with that, right? But there's no room for judgment when you're learning and growing. And there's this thing called the flow state, which you probably heard of. You have to be challenged. You have to be a little bit in a struggle mode before you get into this ease and flow. The brain loves to be challenged. So embrace your challenge.
Yeah. Like when students first start Qigong, and we have very slow movements so that you can feel the life force energy and build the life force energy. They don't even realize that they have like a lot of shaky shakes. And when they first start moving very slowly, they become aware of it. And once you're aware of it, you can steady it. We've had people take part in our 5-day energy challenges who said, I could barely stand without my walker because I had such shakes. And now I'm able to. So we're saying, remember, getting strong and fit and staying. So don't say, well, I'm not fit, it's lost. There was a study that I read earlier today that said research is showing that it is easier for an older person to build muscle faster at times than a young person. And that so surprised me.
That surprises me too. I love hearing
Surprise.
stuff like that. Surprise. We're surprised.
Okay, so we had strength training. We had coordination and coordinated movements.
Can I jump into a little bit more about coordinated movement?
Yeah.
It's so fun to feel your body becoming more coordinated. It actually is a great sense of accomplishment, and it helps you to feel, I would say, more youthful. Because when we're young, we're doing all these kind of crazy things, right? I don't know about you, but I was jumping off the couch,
roller skates, skateboard.
But I was doing all this stuff. And so when you feel coordinated in your body, it feels so youthful. It feels so freeing. So I love being challenged, and I love feeling flow through my body because of coordination.
As a little kid, I remember in elementary school, I could see the cheerleaders. And I didn't want to be a cheerleader, but I wanted to learn those routines or the way they moved. And I was always trying to memorize it. I thought it was so cool. Especially with music.
When you nail a move right on the rhythm and the music, and you just, I don't know, you feel like a level of physical intelligence peaking.
I actually feel when I'm moving and I'm moving to music and in a coordinated kind of choreographed sequence, I feel so close to God. That's just like
lost in it.
My creative place. And then especially if you just kind of keep repeating it and that thing that was so hard has become inside of you and it feels so good to do it.
It does.
Okay, the third secret.
Let's do it. Take a guess. But a lot of times people don't think of that as health or fitness.
They should.
But they should.
Yeah.
Tell us why.
Mindful meditation, well, the first element is stress reduction. It reduces stress, which is crucial as it has a more pronounced effect on health as one ages. So stress affects everything. It can make your blood pressure too high, too low. It can affect your heart rate. It can affect skin disease, sleep, digestion. It affects absolutely everything. It's like the fight or flight. It's like when we're stressed, there's something inside of us that is saying, run, I'm getting attacked. Even just low level stress, it's still some kind of trauma is going on. And that is very aging to the body because
Very.
the energy is going towards that rather than healing, creating new cells, repairing, refreshing, renewing. There's no time for that when I'm under stress.
I think of it as sneaky stress.
Mm.
So it's sneaking in little by little, year by year, decade after decade. We all have heard how terrible stress is for us and that it's the root cause of most illness, right? When you trace them all back, there was some kind of worry, some kind of anxiety, some kind of internalized stressor. And that's depleting your life force. But it's the sneaky way that it gets in that you don't notice that it's happening. And the only way you notice is you have to kind of measure yourself. You measure your heart rate and your blood pressure and things like that. And you start to see, ooh, I'm carrying a lot more stress than I would like or than I realized. It affects the sleep, right? And so if you're wondering, why am I not sleeping well at night? Why am I feeling restless? It's because that worrying, I could even say monkey mind, over the years has become incessant, and it's a compound effect. It starts a little bit, you don't feel it as much when you're younger because you're more resilient.
Yeah.
But over time it widens and it takes over the whole nervous system. And so it's so important, but you can master it. You can use the stress to flip the script and go, I'm going to really be mindful, which is what this is. Mindful meditation isn't, I'm just going to sit and meditate for my 15, 20 minutes in the morning. I'm going to be mindful throughout the day and live in a state of meditation.
And mindful during the practice.
Very much so.
Right? Like during all of our dojo classes, there is a sense of intention and mindfulness in everything that we're doing. Meditation is not just defined as when you're sitting on the pillow.
Right.
All right. The second element is improved cognitive function. I love this.
Focus.
Regular meditation can help maintain cognitive function, reducing the risk of age-related memory loss.
So important, especially in this day and age where so many people are being diagnosed with the big D and such. So yeah, I would, if you're not already meditating, join the dojo if you haven't already, and meditate with us on Tuesday nights.
And Thursday, Qigong is a meditation.
Well, yeah, I wanted to say on Tuesday nights to learn some of the techniques so that you can apply them better in Sabrina's Wednesday night class.
Well,
Sorry,
they don't
Wednesday
know what
morning.
Classes are on
You guys don't know about the classes? Okay, quick commercial. Tuesday in the evening at 7 o'clock Central is meditation
in Austin,
and movement.
Texas time.
But it's virtual, yeah. Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central is with Sabrina. Bring that mindfulness to her strength training class.
It's all light weights, resistance band, bar work, balance.
Secret number one, right? So we've got the strength training there. Next class is Thursday morning. That's at 8:30 Central. That's moving, flowing Qigong. That's a moving meditation. And then there's...
And that's coordinated movement.
Coordinated movement, big time.
And in my
Saturday.
class, we actually lift the weights to the rhythm of the music. So I'm actually merging the strength
and there's
training
singing.
with coordinated movement.
There's loud singing. I hear it in the
You do.
house. And then there's Saturday morning, 10:30 Central. We call that Fitness Fusion. And we're blending all of this in that
So
class.
a little dance, some martial arts, punching, kicking, resistance
Fitness,
bands, light weights,
And
Qigong.
you just get some light weights and
It's
some
awesome,
bands at your
awesome,
house.
awesome,
Easy
awesome.
peasy. Okay.
Okay, number 3 under the mindful meditation is enhanced emotional health. It can improve mood and emotional resilience, reducing the risk of depression and anxiety common in the later years. So I have noticed in myself and noticed in others that sometimes as the decades go by, maybe it's a lack of purpose. I'm not going to diagnose anything, but sometimes it's easier to be sad. It's easier to be depressed, to worry.
It sneaks in.
And then things are going on with your friends. But I've also seen, the worry and the anxiety and this like snippiness. You know, they even make kind of jokes about it, like the mean old lady next door. Because no matter what you do, right? That barking, that nagging, the grumpy man who he's just this ball of anger. And if you just punch it, just press on it, and he's like, "Rawr." Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
that's just a lot of energy that isn't flowing correctly. All emotions are fine. Emotions are just energy, but when you're not flowing the energy, they can come out in ways that aren't pleasant to you or those around you.
You mentioned a very powerful, important word.
I bet
It's
I
a
did.
big word, purpose.
Purpose.
And that as we get older, because our life circumstances change and our identity starts to change, we can go into identity crisis. When the kids leave the house, that's an identity crisis. If we lose a loved one, big identity crisis. If we get a divorce,
if we're diagnosed with something,
we have something that we're dealing with,
a limitation.
And when those identity shifts and crises happen,
which they
they do to all of us, it's what are we doing to find the purpose within them? What's my new purpose now? Like with my back injury and that dis-ease, that became a negative identity, and I had to flip the script and turn it into a positive identity. I'm going to be the guy who actually figures this out. I'm going to make that deal with the divine, and if the healing can happen, then I'm going to help my friends. I'm going to help others, and that changed the identity. But you see, it gave it a purpose. So if you're struggling with that emotional discord right now, see if you can't find a way to shift the identity and the purpose behind what's happening, and maybe even take it into a spiritual lane. Because at the end of the day, the soul's always been there saying, hey, let's remember joy and love. And you've been doing all these things, and that's great. But a lot of people will say, I get to a certain point in my life where something's still missing. And hey, you know what it is? Being connected to who you are.
Yep.
The source of all.
All right. The fourth element under mindful meditation is
moving right along.
Blood pressure management.
Don't you guys love this lady? She's so awesome.
So meditation helps to manage blood pressure, a significant concern by those over 50. So both of my parents are on this cool program. I think it's called something like the 100, and every day they weigh and do their oxygen and do their blood pressure with machines that the doctors gave them, and it sends the data right in. And so they're just like keeping an eye on him every single day. And Mom said, absolutely, her readings are different on the days that she does our classes. Because her blood pressure runs high. So she's like, I don't want to do the test till after the classes because they'll be lower. Or we've worked with people who are having an accelerated heart rate, walk them through some of the breathing techniques very quickly.
Yeah.
And it can adjust
so fast.
But you need to be consistent because it's going to return to the habit
until you make it a habit. And your nervous system can acclimate to the new way, and you can reverse symptoms if you're consistent.
Yeah. Heart disease is like the number one cause of death. So it's really important. That's very tied into what we're doing here. When we were preparing for the show, we were looking at statistics that were saying that if a man or a woman does something like jogging almost daily, it will increase their lifespan by 6 years. That's not just increasing the lifespan, it's the quality of life, feeling as I am able.
Joe says Simon's blood pressure drops 20 points after practicing Qigong.
That's awesome.
That's so awesome.
Okay, the last one under mindful meditation is the just research evidence. Studies show that meditation can even alter brain structure.
We're talking about the hardware.
In ways that promote healthy aging. So it's changing brain structure in a way that promotes healthy aging. So much of anti-aging happens when we're at rest and when we're at sleep. So when we're asleep, our body's like, hey, she's asleep. She's not eating. She's
repair
not dancing.
Repair.
Let's fix some stuff. But if your body isn't able to fall into this like restful state, which you can enter into in meditation or sleep, your body's not having that time to repair.
So you have two aspects to your autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. And so when you're in stress, you are in that sympathetic nervous system, which is like the alert mode, and your body's preparing for struggle, for battle, for, catching the prey or running away. But when you flip into the parasympathetic, that's that ease, rest, and digest phase. That's where all the healing takes place. So how do you do that? Mindful meditation, and not just sitting from time to time. It's checking in, like right now. Take a breath. And just, can you notice you could actually slip in even more, even during the show? I just did. but it's catching yourself during the day and actually applying that and becoming masterful at mindful meditation.
Yep. So our 3 secrets to getting strong and fit and healthy were strength training, coordinated movements, and mindful meditation. Now, we talked about the dojo. I'm going to mention it one more time because the doors to join us in our up to 4 live classes a week, where you can choose, hey, I just want to do meditation, I just want to do qigong, I just want to do strength training, do whatever you want. Replays are available within 24 hours. In the academy, you can access 3 months of replays at any time. And there's a lot of bonuses. So if you're watching this like on YouTube in a few months, that link's not going to work for you. This is a real-time link because this special is happening right now. We just finished 6 days of an energy detox and reboot event, an hour of training each and every day. Those replays are being professionally edited and turned into a program valued at $297. And all new students who give our dojo a try, whether they do it just for 1 month or they want to say, I'm all in, I'm annual, I want all those other bonuses too, you get those 6 hours of training from the Energy Detox and Reboot event, yours to keep forever. And those replays are going to have some strength training, coordinated movement, meditation, bone density, all the things that we talked about. Yep. But this is my truth. From the comfort of your home, just get out of bed, go to a space. You don't need much space. We can help you with these classes. I don't know of better teachers, maybe as good as, but we've both been teaching for like 40 years each. So we really know how to help you get healthy, stay healthy and fit. And we've dedicated our lives to fitness and meditation and coordinated movement. So we would love to help you do this. Give it a go. It can't get any easier. It's right at your house anytime you want. You don't need much space. You hardly need any equipment. You don't need a lot of space. You can ask questions. It's a beautiful community. The community is mostly people 50 to 90, but younger are welcome just the same.
And if you're already in our Life Force school called a dojo, and you've been on the monthly plan and you'd like to upgrade and jump in at the annual,
save $194 a year.
$194 saved, plus we will give you the replays for the last event, and we'll give you a ticket to our upcoming Alive and Thrive 3-day virtual event.
And all that's on the page right there. Check it out now, because like I said, this is a time-sensitive offer.
And that's all, folks. Have a beautiful, I guess, well, at the time of this recording, it's Thursday, and that means it's date night.
It's Thursday for us. For Joe, it's already Friday. She's
Joe,
so ahead. You're such an early bird over there.
Thanks for joining us today. Always love seeing you guys live with us. Much love.